joining us now for reaction, GOP Wisconsin Congressman Derrick Van Orden. Now, Congressman, why should Americans expect to feel like they can afford more this year?
Well, simply because they're going to have more money in their pocket. That's it. Republicans are doing exactly what we campaigned on. We're making things better for the average, everyday American. We're talking about kitchen table issues, and putting stuff on the kitchen table is incredibly important, like eggs, for instance, which are incredibly low again. If you filled up your gas tank lately, you'll notice that the price at the pump is the lowest that it's been in decades. So what we're doing is we're making sure that everyday Americans can live in peace and prosperity and not have to wring their hands at night worrying about whether or not they can pay their bills.
Right. So we saw some tariff uncertainty at the beginning of 2025. Now the president is delaying some new increases. We just heard from tariffs, upholstered furniture, kitchen cabinets, vanities. He's also backing off on new added tariffs on 13 companies in the pasta industry. Now, you sit on the House Agriculture Committee. Do you think this will help stabilize some of those prices in 2026?
Yes, absolutely. Listen, our farmers are going to be treated equally, because when the American farmer has a level playing field, we will dominate the markets around the world. There's been protectionist policies through the EU. Canada has not been holding up their part of the USMCA. Mexico's kind of wavering, getting weak in the knees too. But we got to make sure that these folks understand we don't want a trade war with Canada. We don't want a trade war with Mexico or the EU or anyone for that matter. But you're damn sure going to treat our farmers equally so that we can get out and sell our products around the world. One of the things that I think is really has not been brought to people's attention is the fact that we got whole milk for healthy kids passed through and signed into law by President Trump. That just reopened every single public school to whole milk, 2% milk, flavored milks, and other dairy products. That's a massive increase in markets that were destroyed by Michelle Obama in 2010.
Yeah. So on the other side of the pro-growth agenda, Democrats want to increase taxes to pay for enlarging government programs. So listen to Senator Bernie Sanders here. Listen to this.
Today, while over 60% of our people in New York, people in Vermont, people all over this country are living paycheck to paycheck, we have more income and wealth inequality than we have ever had. The billionaire class in this city and in this country have got to understand that in America, they cannot have it all. That America, our great country, must belong to all of us, not just a few. And that lesson begins today in New York City.
So what happens when you overtax billionaires?
They leave your state. That's what happens. Or they decrease their businesses, which means we have more unemployment. Let's remember, Bernie Sanders took his wife on their honeymoon to Moscow during the height of the Cold War. And people were celebrating just like they were in New York City in 1917 in Soviet Russia. How did that turn out? They were celebrating when Kim Jong-un took over North Korea. They were celebrating when Mao Zedong took over China. And what did that lead to? Over 100 million dead people because communism doesn't work, period. I don't know what these folks are thinking. I mean, this is a classic example of the failure of the American education system, that people don't understand that socialism and communism do not work. They lead to mass deaths and scarcity.
Yeah,
there's never been a government.
Yep.
Sorry?
Yeah, I was saying, Congressman, yeah, we're gonna have to leave it there, but we're gonna have to see what happens a year from now in New York City when these policies play out. I know you don't want that in Wisconsin. I appreciate it.
We're not going to get it here. We're all
Yeah.
about rigid individualism.
Yeah, exactly. From the great state of Wisconsin. Thank you, Congressman.